You're back with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. This is the show that is all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. And just before the break, we heard from Dahlia Saper about social media law. Social media is something that small businesses, big businesses are embracing, and it's so important that we do it effectively and stay within the confines of the law. And, you know, speaking of small business, there's probably nobody here in the state of Illinois that's more involved or has so much of an impact on the world of small business than our next guest, State Representative LaShawn Ford, who is the chairman of the House Small Business Committee in Springfield. Representative, thank you for joining us on Get Down to Business.
Well, that's exactly what we need to do in Illinois, is get down to business so that we can put people to work, increase revenues to the state, and increase revenues to the education so that we can build a stronger workforce in Illinois so that we can be very competitive when we want to compete with the other states and bring more companies and more jobs to Illinois.
Music to my ears.
Yes, and so I'm the chairman of the Small Business Workforce Development Committee for Illinois, and I'm happy to be that chairman, and we do everything that we can on that committee to empower small businesses and to bring information to small business so that they can be empowered. That's key. Information is key if you want to be empowered in the business.
And businesses in Illinois, we have so many different industries and so many different sizes of businesses, and it's hard to please everyone, and it's hard to come up with the solution that's right for everyone. And I know you're trying really hard. The only way that you in the legislature in leading the committee can know enough about what is right for business is by hearing from businesses. And through the committee, you've had witnesses come to talk about the various issues that you're focused on, and that's one of the big pieces of Get Down to Business. We're trying to energize and advocate for people to get involved. So, Representative, what are the issues that you're focused on? You know, now as a follow up to this past legislative session, what are the issues that you want to focus on over the next year that our business community should be in the know about?
Well, the number one thing that I have to tell you, one of the most important and the most savvy business people that we have that lives right here in Illinois is Chris Kennedy.
Sure.
And Chris Kennedy, I passed legislation to name him the chairman of a task force to empower small businesses in Illinois. Chris Kennedy has so much influence with businesses internationally and nationally. And we're going to bring all of those resources to the table, and we're going to find best practices to fix the tax code for businesses in Illinois and to make Illinois a much friendlier place for businesses to want to come to and grow in. So Chris Kennedy will be the chairman of the Small Business Task Force that I established in Illinois, and it's officially the law, and he's already preparing to call his meetings of his task force. We're going to have labor on it, we're going to have community leaders on it, and we're going to have legislators on it, and we're going to have some chambers on it, and we're going to have some small business members on the task force. And what the task force is going to be held by the University of Illinois, which has a whole department for business. And so we're going to have all the interns. We're going to have all of the necessary resources with this task force that Mr. Chris Kennedy, the son of Robert Kennedy, former president, brother, heading it up. He's the chairman of the Illinois school. What is he? The chairman of University of Illinois School,
which is great, and good for you for tapping people that have been successful in business, people that are so involved in the community to help, advise you, the folks that vote for the laws in the legislature, because frankly, the business community, they're the people that are out there and working hard. And I know, Representative, I know you're out in the Oak Park area, and I know you're in business. You understand what it takes, and there's no one size fits all. There's no one recipe for success. But hopefully, Chris Kennedy can be a good advocate and leader on this subject that can really help push issues through that will help the business community. So, Illinois, we do need to create the right environment for businesses, big and small, to thrive over here. We need the businesses like a Caterpillar and like some of the big employers like United Airlines and Boeing that we're so proud to have here. But we also need it to be right for the mid-sized businesses and the small businesses as well. And that's what you're all about. Isn't that right?
That's right. And we have to make sure the tax codes are fair. We need to close the tax loopholes. We need to have a better relationship with the businesses in Illinois and make them aware that you may think that you could go to another place that's better than Illinois, but Illinois is an excellent place with a lot of resources. We have the freight, we have the water, we have the airports, we have the parks, we have downtown Chicago, we have a presidential library in Springfield. This is the home of Abraham Lincoln, the home of President Obama. It's even the home of Ronald Reagan. I think we got another president that was born in Illinois. Illinois is a historic state. We have a lot of resources that we can offer, and we need to be in position to sell Illinois so that people understand that you may want to go to a bordering state, but what are you going to get?
So, Representative Ford, we're talking with Representative Ford, who's the chairman of the committee in the Illinois legislature that's dealing with these issues about small business. Representative, what's the bill that over the past few years in leading the committee that you're most proud of passing through the legislature and getting into law?
Well, when we talk about there's been some bills that I've passed to make sure that we have more set aside for small business in the procurement department. That's key. We had to make sure that we had a small business set aside at least a 10% where we set the because there was always this confusion about what a small business really is. Well, now we know that a small business is at a certain level, and we have to make sure that certain contracts that are available must go to small business, and we have to follow that. We have to follow that report, and we have to continue to reach out to the small businesses to help them get the contracts to do services for the state. That's important. But the number one important piece, I would say, is the one that's going to engage the populace, that's going to engage people that's outside of Springfield pretty much. It's going to engage the business people, the everyday people that have been successful, like Mr. Chris Kennedy, that's going to say, I know what the problem is. Illinois has a revenue problem, and we need to grow revenue. In order to grow revenue, we need to bring more businesses here, and we need to make sure that we treat our businesses fair.
That's what it's all about, bringing businesses here and creating the right environment for businesses, big and small, to thrive. So, Representative, we've got about a minute remaining. I know one of the things that we always talk about here is the part of the problem that businesses face is finding good people. And I know you through your office, you're sending out daily job leads by email, and your office is a fantastic resource for business and jobs. How can people reach out to your office, get on that email list, and learn more about the work that you're doing in Springfield? And
so that's Rep Ford, REPFORD, at LaShawnFord.com, LaShawnFord.com, or they could call 773-378-5902. in order to, if that makes it easier.
And Representative, I know that I've reached out. You and I have worked together on several issues over the past few years, and you're about as accessible as it gets in terms of helping businesses, and we appreciate that. So thanks for the work that you're doing in Springfield and chairing that committee and appointing this new task force led by Chris Kennedy. Thanks for the helpful information. You are listening to the show that is all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You can download podcasts on my website at shalomklein.com. Let's get down to business.